Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back in another episode presented to you by Bollock Studios, where football nutmegs the nonsense. I'm sorry for the previous episode, I did not mention that word, yeah? But anyway, if you watched it, you know I missed it. Thank you very much. So, joining me in our respective remote studios, we have Shariff, we have Kuhan, the usuals. So, with that having said, we have a lot of talking points, a lot of banters and memes that was traveling between us, and of course with all our respective socials, a lot of shocking defeats lined up, of course, in our topics to discuss as well. So we're gonna kick this off, with the match between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. So I'm saying the full name of Crystal Palace. So I mean, it's an inside joke for those viewers. But of course, Crystal happens to be a former loved one, a former lover of one of us. So
Oh my
we're
God.
not gonna.
I would like the subscribers or viewers to guess who's former lover.
So
Lover is the wrong word. It should be girlfriend or partner or something like that. Lover. I think in Asian context, lover means someone you love. But then in the Western context, lover is someone you only, for one purpose.
But let's just call it someone you love.
Someone you love.
Someone you love.
Loved.
So I think now need not to
Song
guess lah.
title.
You already. So so need not to guess, guys. Guys, and
It wasn't
girls, so
me.
sorry. I know we're kind of detoured a little bit, right? I mean, we just sort of start off with a little banter and fun a bit, right? So so coming back to Crystal Palace against Liverpool. Wow, what a game, right?
What a game.
For those viewers who tuned in to our previous episodes, we did have some talking points on the expectation between Crystal Palace and Liverpool. And wow, what a result. What a result, right? So considering Crystal Palace remains the only side which is unbeaten, and well, of course, they have ended Liverpool's unbeaten run. So guys, fire away, man.
Crystal Palace. So last week, I think when you asked our friends what is their, their prediction, I was the only one who said that I want to be surprised. I think Palace can beat Liverpool. Because I was happy to be right at that time.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing game was. This Liverpool side is average. It has just good finishes towards the end. Florian Wirtz, again, I'm saying again, I think we can say that he is a flop. And that player Newcastle used to have, I forgot the name. If you can remind me. So
Okay, I'll cue in. I just want to say Crystal Palace has not been unbeaten, not only for the current 5 games, right? But
yeah,
since April.
18. Yeah, since April.
Since
Since
April.
April.
And they
Wow.
have FA Cup final
Mm-hmm.
and also the Community Shield as well to be included as well, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Oliver
Glasner, brilliant manager. And I think the game was pretty good. Both teams had equal chances. I think the XG was quite similar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like Palace scored. Palace had a lot of opportunities as well to play the game. Mateta was incredible. He hit the post. Ismail Sarr coming back
that
was
one.
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mateta's
that was
one. Wow.
Yeah.
I think
in
my
my
maybe I will might include him in my FPL. I do not know why. But,
Yeah,
but
but
I think I might. Yeah. He's playing a box to box role compared to
He's a
previous.
striker.
Mateta.
No, the study Mateta like Ismail Sarr.
Ismail Sarr's a winger, right? If I'm not mistaken, or central.
Yeah, it's a central midfield, but in the previous role that I forgot the previous Crystal Palace manager, right? But I think he triumphs in a new setup under Glasner. It's a more to box midfield. Maybe sometimes it looks like a winger, and maybe Kuhan. I think this is where you got it. It shows the system of 3-4-3 that Glasner's perfect.
Yes. No, they played 3-5-2.
He looks like a number 10. He looks like a winger, right? He looks like a central midfield.
Yep. He's everywhere. And the one which caught my attention a lot is Adam Wharton. He was incredible. Yes, I think he's going to get an England call-up as well. I hope he gets England call-up.
I hope that too. Yeah.
And this is a Palace team which doesn't have their... So I never thought Palace had star players to begin with. But, Eze is not around, and I thought that was an excuse. They played a brilliant system. They have a lot of self confidence. They are a well trained squad,
I agree.
and to score it at the last minute, what a sucker punch, man! That was incredible.
They could score more, Kuhan. I
Yeah, they
think
could
they
score
could
more.
Yeah,
They
score
yeah,
more
yeah,
definitely
yeah. I
if
did.
it
agree.
wasn't for Alex Becker. I mean, he had a good game. At least this what I saw. A lot of good save from Alison Becker. At least
Yeah,
from my
yeah.
point of view, right? And PT Mateta. I mean, how many posts? I don't know, inner post, outer post, whatever post you want to call it, right? I mean, wow,
He
wow.
was a very effective number 9. He was chasing
Yeah,
down,
he was
pressing
drifting
well.
the left, crossing it
Yeah,
up. Wow, that you want from your striker. No, no, he's big,
exactly.
but also he's mobile
Mobile.
as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have to mention Alexander Isak. I think this is his second start and first Premier League start. And he had one
Got a goal.
chance, and he didn't score a goal. He scored the goal in the previous game.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
He scored the goal. He scored the goal in the cup. He won in his previous
Yes.
team, in the Carling Cup. I mean, he capitalized the mistake, and then he scored a goal there, which is pretty straightforward. I think any one of us would have scored that kind of goal lah, if you watch the goal. So nothing to shout about. But anyway, he didn't have a good game. Salah, Florian Wirtz didn't have a good game, and even the player which I think the best player Liverpool have at the moment is probably Sloboslai and Ryan Gravenberch.
Mm-hmm.
They also struggled a bit actually. It's pretty clear. Liverpool, how to say, they're being exposed now.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So,
If you remember a couple episodes back when we had Kugan, our Arsenal fan, right? And I asked him, right, was it a wasted, right, that
mm-hmm.
Arsenal did not take the game to Liverpool, right? And when they played in the Anfield, right? If
Mhm.
even though some will argue me, oh, it's a away game, but you could see right from the start, Crystal Palace were not afraid. They were just
Yeah.
they know this Liverpool can be beaten, leaking
Yeah,
goals.
I mean they're also playing at home, so that gives an advantage,
Yeah,
which is fine. But
that's why
they
that's
know
by the
that
way.
this is Slott's team anymore. This is not last season team, which has a
Yeah.
Slot
Yep.
and also Klopp
Crop.
a team together. He didn't change much last season, but this season is pretty clear how he wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You could see with how he starts his midfield, and I think maybe at some point he wants to play two strikers. He doesn't like Enrico Chiesa that much as well, if you notice. So
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
got the goal.
Chiesa
Chiesa
scored,
scored the
yeah.
goal. Yeah.
Correct. So, does
And
this
I
mean...
do not know you guys notice or not. Just one
Uh-huh.
last point. When
Yep.
Palace scored their first goal, I just noticed Gui did not run to to celebrate with his teammates. I do not know, but he won the header. I'm not questioning his commitment. But if you guys try to look the replay or the highlights when he won the 50-50 ball,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
the Palace striker, what was it, Mateta, right?
Yep.
The goal, Mateta, yeah, Mateta scored, and then
Yeah, no,
he
Matita didn't score. What is this? The scorers were Ismail Sam and
Ismail Sarr the first
and
goal, right?
what a former Arsenal player,
Eddie
Yeah,
Eddie.
Nketiah.
and Ketia,
Yeah.
correct.
Nketiah.
So Ismail goal went from the corner itself, right? And then when Gui got the what they call it, the 50-50 ball, and then tried to bring the ball back into the box again, and Ismail just put it in, right? And all the Palace players were, running towards them, but Gui was just
But
running back.
captain was no, because there's a reason actually, because
Mm.
all your players cannot be outside celebrating from the field, because then the other team can start the match and score. That's the real thing. So
Oh,
one
yes,
player
yeah.
has
So
to always remain inside the box.
okay lah.
Okay.
I just thought they said, "Alamak, this is should be my employee."
So, with
Right?
that, right, considering finally a team like Crystal Palace have found the formula, you want to say found the formula or made it work against Liverpool and eventually beat them, right? Is Arne Slot's Liverpool starting to look like slot machines, or is it like random results and no payout?
I called them out earlier,
Mm-hmm.
when especially during the Newcastle game.
Mm.
You were
Mm-hmm.
10 men, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
you were leading 2-0,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got 2-0, 2-all.
Two all.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
2-all Newcastle equalized, right? And then we thought it will be a draw game, but then Liverpool managed to get the
Mm-hmm.
last minute winner. But within 10 men, you couldn't see Liverpool were dominating, right? Even with
Yeah.
10 men. So from there, I saw, and then with the first game also with Bournemouth as well. Okay, yes, they
Yep.
scored 4, but then
Mm-hmm.
they concede 2 as well at the back, right? It's not
Yep.
as solid, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and you could see it's they. I've been saying also a couple of episodes back. I mean, some might even our previous Kevin, right? He came in and then he mentioned that Liverpool is not to their best, but they try to churn out results. That is also made of a champion, maybe, right? But
Yep.
I
Yep.
think now it's.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is an overused statement, actually. That is an
I know,
overused
I know,
statement.
I know.
So,
But
I mean,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't see that because I see Liverpool is up for taking, right? And therefore I was not surprised that and
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that they got 3 points. It will be a little bit disappointing or pain if they drew, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
was really happy when Nketiah scored the winning goal.
and I think the biggest fear we have is that Liverpool to become runaway leaders, because that
Yeah,
is a terrible, terrible thing to happen, actually.
So
I
so
mean, yeah, it becomes all these boring Chelsea Premier League title winning teams,
yeah,
which,
one
they from
horse
the
race.
beginning, yeah, one
Yeah.
horse race. And
Yeah.
I think last season also was something like that. There was no proper title challenge.
So
Yeah.
on your statement there, right? So do you think, in y'all's opinion, both of y'all's opinion, I mean even the opinions of the viewers as well, right? Does this game onwards make Crystal Palace legit title contenders? Or are they just riding a
No.
sell her spark spell?
They are a team on form.
Yeah.
That is a given. They are a team on form. I wish that could be true. If they
Mm-hmm.
are title contenders, that would be
Mm-hmm.
amazing for the Premier League. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think every
Mm-hmm.
other club supporters, Palace will be their second team,
Mm-hmm.
because it'll be a repeat of a Leicester City. It'll be great to watch.
Yes.
So, but on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
we have to also consider that they might lose their captain
Mm-hmm.
in January.
Yep.
And they would be excellent in the cup runs, I hope,
Mm-hmm.
again. So this is a team in transition for now, but they are not blessed with a lot of resources.
Mm.
So we have to agree with that as well. So and Oliver Glasner contract is also 1 year contract running. They have no renewal talk, maybe later in January. So this could be it, actually. They will be playing well against the big boys. And I hope they get into Europe or win something in conference, because they had to go to conference, because they were supposed to be in
Yes.
Europa.
Yep.
And then because of the ownership issue, cannot have two clubs. Though a certain club, City, could have many clubs, and even Chelsea also did it
Yep.
before. But they become the victims lah of circumstances. That's why Forest
Mm.
is in Europa,
Mm.
I like
and
Mm-hmm.
City is.
good when you say his contract is getting end, because that I will save that for the best part at the end of the of our segment. But yeah,
Mhm.
and you see, I'm hoping as well. You see, hoping Crystal Palace will be another Leicester. And you guys know, throughout the entire new format of Premier League, right, since '92,
Mm-hmm.
there are only
Mhm.
6 clubs, including Leicester City, who won the Premier League title.
Yeah.
It shows how dominant the clubs, the top 4 or the top 3, and I agree. I think it will be a good football for all football fans if Crystal Palace make it, right. But I don't know, because we saw that glimpse of Nottingham Forest, right. But then
Mm-hmm.
towards the
A bit,
end,
yeah.
when the games come thick and thin, right, and I agree, they don't have the depth and resource to try to play. And then if Guehi did move in during the January, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, again, I'm just giving a segue. They might also lose their manager as well, but this is just my
Yeah.
pre.
Because I think MU is going after him.
Well, it happens, then you hear it
And let
first.
me say this out loud now. If Oliver Glasner decides to go to MU, he has shot his career down the foot, actually. Quite simply that, actually. So
Hmm.
that is a real bad career move, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, we can save it to the next section when we talk about MU. I just,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been noticing that there are a lot of, pages coming that
Mm-hmm.
they want Oliver Glasner as their first choice. The MU fans wants Oliver Glasner. I hope he doesn't do a mistake, because right now he has a lot of power in Crystal Palace. He's a club
Yep.
legend,
Yep.
and he could block Mark Gehi's move. So that's how
Imagine.
powerful he is. That means
Correct.
the club is going to lose like 30 million pounds, actually, because of
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this move. So, and he could stop it. That means if you are a board of directors and you are okay with your manager losing money for a sporting reason, imagine what kind of influence he has actually.
Yep.
So, and also, of course, he knows he's in demand too. I think he will run out his contract and demand for a new one and see how it goes.
I have my say about Oliver Glasner, right? It was a what waste or maybe missed opportunity that couldn't join the last episode because I was seeing him, and I'll also mention this as well, Dani Iriola as well, the Bournemouth manager as well.
Yeah.
But I will keep that for the MU part, right?
We have the United segment right after this, so that we will save that, right? All those therapy sessions later, yeah. So guys, moving on. The next very interesting game between Newcastle United and Arsenal, man. Quite unfortunate. Newcastle lost at two headers towards the very end of
Towards the
end,
end.
right? Yeah.
So I think in the last section you asked prediction of the game, the last part, and then I somehow you didn't ask me about that game at all, and then we just moved on, and then I noticed that the feeling I had. Sorry.
Big
Hey,
game
what
on
the-
Newcastle
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah, but anyway, I was glad he didn't ask. I was glad he didn't ask because the omens was not right. This banner here, suddenly it just fall down, and I was like, shit.
Oh.
Does this mean? I felt very like, okay, I'm not exactly a superstitious
sure.
guy. I felt
But-
that.
being a neutral football fan lah, I was hoping Newcastle beats Arsenal, right? Yeah, I mean take us through, man. Your take on that game.
So
because
I
think
watched. Go on.
for me, I felt that Newcastle was really playing very well in the first half. Very well. It just gave me a glimpse. I was telling you, you guys, the both of you separately as well in our chats, right? That it gave me a glimpse of that old school football, it gave me that glimpse of all that crosses in and all that stuff and all that stuff. I was like, this one, Newcastle. So, but I mean, quite unfortunate lah. Two headers that changed the whole game lah. So
Before we go there, I mean, if you look at the game, when I saw the team list, I was a bit shocked because they were like, I was not sure whether Eddie Howe is going to play 3-5-2-2 or 3-5-2-1, whatever. I mean, with three defenders, or he's going to play 4-3-3.
right.
If he plays 4-3-3, that means that Dan Burn will be playing left back all and out against.
Yes.
And that was the formation actually. Dan Burn was the left back against Saka,
Dan
and
Burn,
he did a good job against Saka. Dan Burn is like the 6'6" guy versus Saka, which is nimble, mobile player, and he pocketed Saka well. But the game was good. I think Arsenal started well, Newcastle played well, and then there was a penalty decision where some people say it's a penalty, some people say it's not. VAR overruled it, and I was quite glad because the referee gave straight away a penalty. Because Nick Pope got the ball. That's the most important thing. So VAR was good, and this one riled up Arsenal, and that's when Newcastle started to play even more. You see, Arsenal didn't even start with Saliba. So, and then when the corners were coming in, Newcastle has a new set piece coach from Denmark. So and I think it worked out well, but I think they should have scored more in the corners. They had a number of opportunities. Nick Waltemada scored, but there was a problem which I noticed. The problem was Newcastle is very used to having a pacey striker running into the channels and everything. Nick Waltemada wants the ball to his feet. That slows down the game.
Right.
So I'm seeing that they're learning how to play with him. So, which is good, but at the same time, it also removed the intensity of the game to punish Arsenal really well. So when it came to the second half, I think I was pretty confident, okay, they might be seeing this through. They might score a second goal or third goal or something like that. Because Newcastle still are defensively very strong. Malik Chia was amazing. I think he's man of the match of the game. And when they had a few opportunities in the beginning of the first 5 to 10 minutes, and they should have finished it, which they didn't. So as the game riled on, Arsenal started to dominate. And what irked me the most was the fact that Eddie Howe decided to be defensive from quite early on the second half,
Right.
which I was okay. But at the same time, I thought that we should be more offensive actually. So, and that one came and bite us at the end actually. So, and I think the Arsenal are set piece king, so they did well. A former player scored against Newcastle, which they always do.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Nick Pope, man, man.
Man.
I mean, like this. Yeah, go on, go on, go on.
No, I think he was brilliant in the first half. Really.
He was, as I said,
He
he's
was.
good. He kept us in the game, which is
Correct,
great.
really.
But
But so this is where leads to my question, right? So to all you viewers, just to keep you all updated on it as well. So on a side note, among us, we have kind of like our own respective opinions. You know, Shariff feels Nick Pope is a good keeper and says Kuhan has his reservations on Nick Pope, right? But of course, you know, do drop your comments if you know whatever we're gonna share, and if you want to share your thoughts on Nick Pope, go ahead, drop us your comments and your feel on Nick Pope. So I want to hear now from Sharif on why you feel that Nick Pope is actually a good keeper, because I like Nick Pope, right? And I feel he should play for
be
England.
Newcastle number one. Play
And
for England again.
sorry, even for England, Jordan
Yeah,
Pickford.
I agree. I agree.
I feel that,
I
right?
agree. I agree.
But Sharif, I want to know from you, man. What maybe your guess is as good as mine on why you feel Nick Pope is the good keeper.
Well, it caught me off the guard here because I prepared for a different stat at the front. But I know that his goals ratio of saving, right, especially I remember someone, a commentator, was saying on
Mm-hmm.
Nick Pope, right, why he was not chosen ahead of Pickford, because the probability of goal, right, meaning goals that are going to be goal, right, it's not a
Mm-hmm.
50-50,
Your ex
higher
goal or something
higher
like that.
right. So but he managed to stop it, and I think when you saw that as well, right, with the penalty itself. He got the ball first, right? He's not only a good shot stopper, but he's
Mm-hmm.
able to understand the game as well, right? And I think that's where a modern keeper is. He's not a sweeper. He's not also a shot stopper. And I don't know, like any keeper is a really better keeper than MU, because I'm just jealous with certain teams that like Newcastle, like I'm not being sarcastic. I mean that's how I really feel, man. I mean when I see people clubs that when their keepers really change games, man, right?
Yep. Yep.
When sometimes they are not playing well, they started slow, but then
Mm-hmm.
when their keeper make big saves, right? It
Mm-hmm.
start
Yeah.
the you know what, shit, man, this my keeper is doing the work, and then the keeper shouts, demands how the defense
Mm-hmm.
needs to do, right. I see that with Dean Henderson. I know he's toxic because I do not want him back to MU, but he's proving he's better than David De Gea, man. I know you wouldn't like that, but he's supposed to deserve
I
the
rate
place.
De Gea higher than Nick Pope. I love De Gea. He could save the Titanic. He could save that. He would have saved the Titanic.
But Kuhen, I have something to maybe to share my opinion, and I'm sure this is might be a thoughtful opinion, right? I know you don't like this, but somehow from beginning season, I always thought that Newcastle, when they lose Alexander Isak, right, they are going to lose the momentum, right?
Hmm.
And I'm going to give you certain certain why I felt that, and of course I look it up as well. You see, when Newcastle played with Isak, right, for the entire season, right, XG, many expected goals, right, were
Mm-hmm.
high, 18.6, man, 18.6
Wow.
for goals expectation.
Wow.
Yes, with Alexander Isak, and now without Isak, 9.4
Hmm.
XG.
That is easily explainable.
And this is the best part. It's not because Newcastle is not playing well. In fact, Eddie Howe knows how, okay, that's a small pun there. Eddie Howe knows how to adapt without Isak, because without Isak now, we compare with the first 6 games, and the 6 games that Isak starts with Newcastle last season,
Mm-hmm.
meaning the best 6 games with Isak and the current 6 games, which is, I know it's not the best, right? They have more volume shots, 75 shots, guys. in 5 games. So
Without
this is where
Isak.
I think
Without Isak, yeah.
Oh wow.
yes, without Isak. So that's why I feel Eddie Howe knows how to play without Isak, but I just guess the players do not know how to play with Isak, and I just feel that,
Play with
there's no
Isak or without
finisher.
Isak?
The players.
That's the thing. As I said, I think what we miss now is the pace up front. So Yon Visa is a real miss because I can see in the game that when the moment Bruno Gomes get the ball and everything, they are looking for that someone to create the space to run into the channels. They are
Yep.
looking for that. And Nick Waltemada is coming deeper to pick up the ball,
Yeah.
which is a
Yes.
good gameplay. But the team has not adjusted to that gameplay at
Exactly.
all.
Hence,
Yeah.
you said it slows down because
It slows
your
down the transitions.
Exactly.
yes, it slows down the
That's why I say the
transition.
players do not still know how to play
Correct.
with Isak as well,
Correct.
right?
Correct. You're right.
But give it time, right?
They look more comfortable when there's Ilanga or Gordon as their strike force in front, right?
But that's the thing. Gordon
It's not a striker. Yeah.
he's not a striker. Ilanga is. You see how Newcastle play generally is they have a right wing which goes straight in the line, who hugs the
Mm-hmm.
line, who doesn't cut inside and go
Yeah.
inside all. They have Gordon which does that actually, and
Mm-hmm.
this
Gordon
one
Bennett.
depends absolutely on your right back and your
Mm-hmm.
full back. So I mean your left back and your right back. So like Lewis Hall comes deeper. He plays an inverted wing back. And Livramento will do the overlap runs actually. Livramento can do both roles, left and right, which is amazing. There is a
Yeah.
lot of dynamics in the game. But though with or without Visa, the reason
Mm-hmm.
coming back to the real thing, real topic just now we're talking about is Nick Pope. Nick Pope did the same mistake on why we lost to Liverpool. The over enthusiasm to get the ball rolling fast. He is
Right.
terrible with his feet. He is
He wants to
terrible with
start
his
the
feet.
game faster, you mean?
No, he just cannot distribute the ball with his feet. So every time when he's hitting long balls, he's either going out, hitting the smallest Newcastle player, so the other teams, the opposing team can easily attack. So his ball is the one which Arsenal took possession of the ball, which was direct. If you look at it, they got a corner and they scored the winning goal from it.
I don't know, Kem. I see your point. Maybe you do see. Maybe I also maybe could see halfway line that there's the Pope eagerness to distribute the
Yeah,
ball,
yeah, yeah. But
but
this is not his fault alone. Huh? Let me be clear. This is not his fault for being too eager. But he cannot distribute the ball. If he would have slowed down the game would have ended up as a draw. The point is his general distribution is not good. So the fact that the eagerness is also a problem. We did it against Liverpool. The eagerness to trying to pull off where the midfield didn't come, which gave enough space for Sloboslai to give. The pass to go to the new kid, 17-year-old who scored against us. So the same thing we considered here as well. The eagerness is a problem. That over enthusiasm. Even if you play with a lot of grit and want to win, it can backfire you against a good side. So and this is what happened. This is a good win for Arsenal because they finally beat. If you can beat Newcastle, you are worthy title contenders. Quite simply put, actually. I mean, because
Hmm.
it's a proper team. So that's why the celebration.
okay, I got to pull back a bit because I I know you see the error of Nick Pope, but I see Newcastle is not of defensive. They are very solid defense. Like you were mentioning, Burn can play back, Burn can play left back, right? And
Mm-hmm.
again, this also I have something also to share as well, right? I This is where I found out, and the problem that I see for this 6 game is it's not that Newcastle leaking goals. That I feel that Newcastle couldn't score much,
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Mm.
That's true.
and this is where they drew a lot. They drew against
Yeah.
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
At the moment, the relegation,
They
contenders
won the
like
last game though.
okay, fine.
Eh.
That's still, but it's still below. In last season, how many I mean, again, I got to bring Alexander Isak because he was really, really, really useful for Newcastle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And how many games where
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle were at losing point or at the draw point, and Alexander Isak not only his goals but assists, right, helped to
Assist, yeah.
capture 3 goals as well. And out of his 23 goals, six of his goals were actually match-winning goals. 23 goals.
Okay.
All right.
But I also think that before Alexander Isak, we had Callum Wilson in the team, which was
Ah,
the main striker. And that transition, Isak had 6 months to adjust, and Callum Wilson was injured for quite a number of matches. And during the season when they played together, they were sometimes playing together. Sometimes Wilson starts, Isak comes second half, or Isak start, Wilson comes second half. Last season was mostly Isak because Callum Wilson was injured. So now this season, I think the striker closest to Isak will be Visa and more experience in that sense. And Nick Waltermalda, though he's scoring, it is not in the favor of actually pushing the team. There is a huge learning process. One problem which Newcastle is having now is they haven't had these long training sessions because they have Europe now. They are
Yeah.
Champions League. So Tihau, I think, somehow said in one of the conference that they don't have this long training session. They're just preparing for the next game. So they're not used to it actually. So because you could see from the selection how is he working and how they are playing the cup matches, there's not consistency, which is expected because you need to rotate your players. So Newcastle is a team which relies a lot on training. So though Walter Mother played better here compared to Barcelona, I'm not saying that Barcelona outclasses or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is not the case. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is that he is learning how the team plays. And I don't think he will ever be the main man for
Mm.
Newcastle, the
so
main
so
number nine.
you are gunning for Visa as the
I
like
think Visa would be the number one striker. And that would be the case.
Mm-hmm.
We would see Visa be arriving in 2 weeks' time after his finish. Walter Mada can start along with Visa.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possibility. He can start as a winger, left wing, or he can start in a central midfield. I mean, more of an attacking midfielder, number 10 role. Because Walter Mada is a 9.5 or 9.5 kind of player. They said he's the in between, the Firmino kind of player, you know.
Yep.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so the thing is that he is not someone who's like super quick and moving in the channels, which we can. I just feel that, well, to be fair, the game we are losing in the last minute also tells another story on its own. I think it also tells about Arsenal and how they were not as emotional as they can be. Although their fans are delusional most of the time. But this time, I mean, the fact that Newcastle always bully them, they call Newcastle dirty team, and they always say, oh, Isak and Bruno Guimaraes is our players, and you all took from us, and it's like their birthright that we should sell them Isak because he's a Arsenal kind of player. So all this kind of comments all be going on. But nevertheless, though as a fan, I am disappointed. But as a neutral, well, they are legit title contenders. We are 2 points behind Liverpool.
Are you worried? Go ahead. Because right
But,
now, Newcastle, after 5 games, they
mm,
are sitting below to a team that are calling their managers to be sacked. 1 point behind Man United.
the there's two ways to look at it. First of all, Eddie Howe has earned his place in Newcastle, so he can go one season without doing anything, for sure, and he will still
You,
have retain his job. Yeah, yeah, of course.
you believe so? All right.
Yeah,
Even
but
though it goes to a relegation, maybe 14,
I
15.
don't think Newcastle will be a relegation battling team, actually. I don't think so. The signs are not there because on the pitch, they are playing well. If you see, they are consistent. Defensively, they are sound. That's not how a relegation team play, actually. And you have to understand, in the last let's say, last 7 games, they have
Mm-hmm.
lost to the number one team in Premier League, the number two team in the Premier League, and the number one team in La Liga. That's their only loss, you know.
Yep.
So that says something else as
Yeah,
well.
but also the draw as well. Go ahead. They drew to Aston Villa. They
Mm-hmm.
drew to
No, but
Bournemouth.
Aston Villa, the first game of the season, Aston Villa is a big team. So drawing away to Aston Villa is still okay for me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because this
So
is Unai Emery's Villa. We didn't know their form only after a couple
yeah,
of
I
games
understand,
later.
understand. So what you're saying, you're not singing yet to be sacked in the morning at the moment.
I think no, there are some fans out there who wants Eddie Howe out. Or I mean,
Serious?
but yeah, yeah. I mean, there are crazy people out there. When I say Arsenal fan are delusional, when I say some Liverpool fans, I'm not meaning all Liverpool fans or all Arsenal fans. Although most of these all Liverpool fans are our friends. So
They happen to be our friends, so
They happen to be our friends. The
Friends,
same thing with
friends.
Arsenal as well. So of course there are Newcastle fans who are delusional as well, who want Eddie Howe to be out so early on in the
I
season. I
agree.
mean, yeah, Newcastle is not a team built by money, by riches of what Chelsea and Man City have done.
Yep.
Newcastle is a team built by only one man, and that man is Eddie Howe. That came
Correct.
out really well, huh?
Yep.
Yep. And he knows how.
He knows how. All right, man. Good. Hey, really good talking points. We are moving on to the segment of therapy, the
Therapy session.
segment of rantings and debates.
Oh my
And
God.
once again, right, I'm one step ahead, two steps behind for Man United. Right? I don't know you want to call it even two steps behind or three steps behind. So, I've even had people talking like this, right? So we had obviously Brentford against Man United where final score 3-1. Shocking game from United. As
Was it
much as
shocking?
shocking in the sense of
It was shocking for me.
it was
Really?
really. It was
I,
shocking,
I,
really. So
I mean,
here
come
goes.
on.
So here goes, right? I mean, look, I give credit when due. So Brentford, Ego Thiago.
What a goal.
What a goal, man! What a goal! And both the goals were brilliant. Mistakes from you want to say from the midfield, you want to say from the defense. Sharif, I leave that to you to talk about it, man. Because for starters, I think not only probably the of course this is how I look at it, right? You can't play a rest defense with Harry Maguire. You cannot do
But
that.
before we go there, before
Yeah,
we go to
yeah.
the nitty-gritty. So I think the last spot I say that you cannot judge MU based on their win against Chelsea is the games like the Brentford games is the one that we
Hundred
need to
percent
judge them
agree.
on.
I
100%
agree.
agree.
So now
100%. Yeah.
my question is first, before the game, what was your expectations, both of your expectations of the game? Be honest, was there a glimmer of hope that they would beat Brentford away?
Well, deep down, yes, I was. I was really hopeful. Although as they say, the hope that kills, right? I was really hopeful that they could have turned it around. Look, yes, they went 2-0 down in the first half.
Quite
Sorry,
fast.
sorry, it was already two. It was 2-1. The first half was already 2-1,
No,
right?
I think it was 2-0 in the first 20 minutes.
First 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I will still go back to mentality lah again, or whatever you want to call it, right? Then the penalty was delayed because substitutions were taking
Oh, that
place.
was if at all it was deliberate by the manager to put the substitution at time. It
It
was
was
masterclass.
masterclass.
But
So
I
he
don't think it's. I mean, I think visually, optics wise, it looks like a masterclass to put the substitution when the penalty is being taken. But I think the penalty was already decided. I mean, the substitution was decided much earlier, and the only break they got was during the
maybe,
penalty.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Okay, so I can agree with that, right? But then the delay, right? Also, okay, the delay of the substitution, fine and all that. And once again, Bruno Fernandes misses the penalty.
Who was the goalkeeper?
What's it? Kelleher. Liverpool second choice. Liverpool second
Liverpool
choice.
second choice.
Yeah. And so yeah,
Go ahead.
that's some of, and so that's that.
And wait, before that, who gave the assist to what is this? Thiago, the goal scorer.
I don't care.
Give me a sec. Give me a
I
sec.
will quote Alex Ferguson. Don't give a two asses about that.
I think it's Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, but go ahead. Let me answer your question
Yes.
directly. Right? Why I thought MU should win? This is against a Brentford team that had lost half of their team,
Yeah, that's true.
two of their best players, and one of their best players is playing for MU right now. They lost their manager.
Yeah, did you all saw the meme or not? The fans were shouting, "Are you playing
I know.
in the best?"
Brian, what's the score, right?
Brian, what's the score?
Brian, are you playing
what's
in a
the
big
score?
club?
Brian, what's the score? Yeah. And they have lost Thomas Frank, and I will say Thomas Frank, maybe he does not have a how at his last name, but he was the one who built Brentford in how they are playing this time. So it's like losing. I will not call losing Alex Ferguson or something, but they lost their identity. Go ahead.
Yes.
So and their form, they are not doing well as well. They are also battling.
Yeah, okay, only.
They are battling for form.
Correct.
But you could see for the first when within the 20 minutes when we were 2-0 down, I will say that's it. This game is done and dusted. You could see
And
from
I
the
mean,
managers.
so in other words, you're trying to say that MU lost the match more than Brentford winning it. Actually,
Yes,
there's a
I would
difference,
say
huh? Yeah.
yes, I agree. And this is why I will say why, right? Because I believe that MU did not deserve. Sorry, did not. Let me rephrase. MU deserve to be beaten, right?
Hmm.
yep,
MU deserve to be beaten. Simple as
yep.
that. Simple as that. The better team won, right? The better team won. Even though yes, I know we can argue night and day with the penalty, which is might also change the game, but it does not take out the credits of Bradford being much more prepared, right? Which being
But
much
because it's
more
easy to prepare
braver.
against MU, even we can prepare against MU.
The ASEAN teams, right? The ASEAN
Technically,
teams.
Sad
Yeah,
thing.
we can prepare against MU.
yeah.
There's no
So
surprises.
Speaking about preparation, maybe I'll start with that. Speaking about
Yeah, go on,
preparation,
go on, go on.
first, Matt, I watched the previous episode, even though I was not in. You were high to the cloud nine praising Matthias Delit, and I totally agree with you. Okay, so I don't
Yeah,
understand why when you come
you
into the
remove him.
Bradford game, you are having Harry Maguire as your last man. If you interview Harry Maguire right now and ask him, you don't have pace, but you are being played as a last man, he will answer, I also don't know, bro.
ah,
I think it
tanya
works.
bos aku.
I think
Tanya
what
bos
he
aku.
wants.
Why you think it
I
works?
think I think it works because for Ruben Amorim, I think he believes that you are centre back position. You can play whichever. You should be able to
Yes,
play whichever.
correct. I
That's
agree.
what
But
he thinks
to
actually.
Yeah, but you're right. But the way it's set up, Ruben Amorim's three back line, the center defense is the last man. The center defense will
yes,
move up or move down, and that's what Matthias Delit did very well with Chelsea, right?
and I don't
And that's
understand
where
why he
that's
was.
where he that's why he really went up when the line is up. He could chase back if it didn't hear the whistle and everything.
But again, I don't believe that the defense is the problem. It's the midfield.
I
I mean,
agree with that. So we can agree that the midfield is the problem, but
Mm.
that's why I stated just now, right? You when Sharif, what you were saying, correct, right? I gave he praise for Matthias Delit, right? I think he's brilliant, but against a team like Brentford, you have pacey attackers there, no? Right? You want to play a rest defense. Why do you play Harry Maguire there? And
and you
that,
play
that
a high
first
line.
goal, and you play a high line, you can't
High
track
line.
back. You don't have the
And and
speed. You
exactly.
cannot.
And
And
what got me really irked me. Sorry, Mike, go on.
go.
Go
You're
on, go
saying,
on,
you're
go on.
saying.
And what got me really, really irritated, right, is his post-match comment. Go ahead, Matt. In his
I didn't watch
post-match
that. I could
interview,
not watch that, but yeah.
okay,
I didn't watch it because it's like for me, I hate seeing adult grown men in that kind of situation.
yeah,
This is
okay,
like the low. I mean,
let
to be
because
fair,
I want
yeah.
explanation. I want what he sees in the game, right? And
Okay.
see, okay, this is where I apologize. I'm going a little bit ranting, right? But this is where it starts, guys. Okay, so
Mhm.
now he after the game he was saying to the media that whenever you play you should play your game. The moment we play Bradford's game, that's where everything collapsed, and I totally agree with him. I
Yep.
totally agree with him, right? The players suddenly played Bradford games, but again, this is why I'm not telling the defense was the problem, Kern. The setup, the preparation of Ruben Amorim, setting up Harry Maguire as a center, your last man, because he's thinking, you know what, I'm going to use this guy during the corners. And you know what? And you know what's the proof? Because you
Mm-hmm.
could see Dalo, a right wing back,
Mm-hmm.
running across the field to take a long throw. Since when, bro? Do
Correct.
you see Arsenal doing that?
Yes.
Do you see Liverpool City
Yeah.
doing that against Brentford? Do you see Newcastle doing that, Cohen?
What about the
3
long throw?
long throw. They are playing long
Long
throws,
throw.
bro.
No, but a lot of teams are doing that already. A lot of
I
teams are doing
understand,
that
but
already now. Yeah.
against Brentford,
I mean, it's not fair to say that you. I hope you're not quoting that Brentford is a lesser team, therefore we shouldn't play long throws. I think that all teams are hard.
But
I think you believe that as well.
you
But
speaking
why
of
I
is the
think
long,
long
is
throw an issue?
what
but
I think
long,
is when Ruben Amorim say we should not play Bradford's game, but you prepare the team like a Bradford team. You get what I'm trying to
Mm.
say?
No,
Yep.
but a lot of teams are
It's like
doing
Newcastle
long
playing
throw.
Stoke.
Newcastle is doing long throws now as well.
I agree, but
So
to a
yeah.
to a team that you know that you should winning, okay, with all respect to Bradford, right? You should play your own game. You should play your own attacking game. You should play, your I do not know what idea Ruben Amorim has, but his tactics were bring in the big guys, right? And when he has long throws at the 1/3 of opposition, let's do a long throw. No. And
Hmm.
when did they play long throw with other teams? Did they play with Arsenal? No.
No,
Did they play with
it's a strategy where a lot of teams are applying it.
I agree.
It's a thing.
I agree, Kuhan. If it's a game that we, sorry to say, if MU is the lesser team with City, with Arsenal, where we are trying to, get the ball from, that's where he
Yep.
also bring Maguire up, right? Ruben Amorim
Yep.
bring Maguire up to get the winning headers. But with
But
Bradford,
I also think that the long throw is not the issue. There is more to it. I can see that. But you see, his body language was terrible. He can't even watch the gameplay, actually. I mean, the last time against Grimsby, he couldn't watch the penalty. This one, he cannot watch the gameplay. And we have to remember that he is going through a torrid time. And I mean, he said after the Arsenal match, he said that we prove we can beat any PL teams, actually. I don't know why he said that. And he went on to lose the Grimsby game and what we are now. And then against Chelsea, they played well.
against man,
My problem is, I just think that MU can be trained to do anything. But the problem is, he is not a suitable coach because he's just young. And the second thing you have to see, your assistant coach, Carlos Fernandez, is 30 years old. Adelio Candino, your third man, is 29 years old. These are your management team, if you, your coaching team. Don't think this one is a problem?
I
I
don't think
think it's
so
a
because
problem.
Brighton is a
No.
young
Why not?
management team as well. Brighton is a young management team as well.
Young
His
team
coach
as
is
well.
only
No,
35 years old.
no. But then go and see their assistant coaches and the rest of the coaches and everything. And Brighton do not have egos like Man United will have. So that's a big difference.
I see your point, Kuhan. I see your
Yeah.
point. But again, I felt Ruben Amorim prepared the team the worst way he can prepare the
Yep.
team.
I
And
agree.
this is, again, I say, it's not only the preparation, the in-game tactics as well. And this is why I know he knows that how his team will build very well. You see, during the 68 minute, it took him 68 minutes to realize, which I know he realized earlier, right? After the second
Correct.
goal. After
Yep.
68 minutes, he started to switch exactly like how we played with Arsenal, right? He brought in
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Mainu. He brought in Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro was good. I don't know, understand why he was benched. So
Why
what
he was
happens?
benched?
Delete moved to the correct role that he was playing. Lenny Yoro plays the right centre back together with Luke
Mhm.
Shaw. Kobe
Mhm.
Mainu, and this I do not know why. Maybe Matt. Is Bruno Fernandes the last piece of player power? Maybe this is the question that we need to answer. I don't see anything. I'm not blaming. Okay, the penalty put aside. Besides the penalty, he's nothing. You couldn't see him. You couldn't see him dictate.
I
You
was
couldn't see
about to
him
say that.
passes. And,
Mm,
and,
mm.
and, and for Ruben Amorim to say that Mainu cannot play with Bruno Fernandes, but suddenly bring him against Ugarte, who was playing
He can play.
better than Bruno Fernandes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Within that 20 plus minutes, Kobe Mainu able to make 78% completed pass. And this is not a square passes, this is passes through the
Through
defense
the
line,
channels and everything.
through
Yeah.
the channel. 78%.
Now this is the
And
part
Bruno noticed that. And when he got the
Yeah.
ball, he just delivered it to Kobe Mainu. And during that game, after 10 minutes, we got a goal from Benjamin Sesko.
But also in the gameplay, you could see the selfishness of Cunha, who's not wanting to pass the ball in better positions, wanting to run with the ball. I don't know whether you noticed that or not. That is a thing for me, actually. I always don't like players who want to take the glory from themselves. And Mbemo looked very industrious, but at the same time, decision making is also poor. So
I
I agree that MU should be playing better against this team, but I also tend to see it. You see, from the lens of fans, you guys are seeing with all the glory and all these things. All from the
No,
lens
no,
of a okay,
Some people will call it toxic as well. But this is where
no, no,
I
no.
see from a
Okay,
football fan as well.
well, that's debatable. But from a lens of a neutral guy, what I see is that the home team winning against almost the same level team.
I agree. I agree.
That's what I saw actually.
But again, Kuhan, if I would say that Arsenal should take the results with Liverpool, right? Because you could know, you could take results with Liverpool. This was also the results for taking. It can be Brentford taking Man United. It can be Man United taking the results with Brentford as well,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Like I
yes,
see,
yes, yes.
like I see. If you talk about again, if you talk about a team, right, lose half
Mm-hmm.
of their team, lose their managers, the best player of last season is playing against your team, and then you go lose
Mm-hmm.
3-1, you go lose the first 20 minutes. I'm not saying the this is the main problem that Harry Maguire played the last man and everything. It shows that Ruben Amorim, I'm not so sure what he's doing. And I know Matt and other United fans were also telling, you know what, this season we are cooking. We're going to cook because what? We don't have Europe. We have 1 week to training. So Kuhan and Matt, let me understand. After 1 week of training in Carrington, you are training Dalu to throw long throws against Brentford. I couldn't
That's
bring
one
that.
way. That's definitely one way. But that's the thing.
I
Like
couldn't
we
bring that.
have the opposite problem. Newcastle cannot train.
Exactly.
1 week training.
Exactly. And where is the intensity? Where is the intensity? You cannot win 50-50
Exactly.
balls.
I agree.
So
Yes,
so I
they could
asked
not.
the United fan, what are we cooking? We are cooking Portuguese egg tart.
Hmm. I have said this. He is waiting for his 12 million
I agree. I
pound pay
agree.
And
cut. I mean anyone in his position would do it. But
but
I
but
mean
now but the part where okay, yes, I mean, Sharif, another point for me to add on as well. From a goalkeeping standpoint, I also would put the blame on Altai Bainde as well.
why?
I may have praised
Why?
him one time, but I
Why?
criticize most of the time. You see,
What? For the second goal?
first goal. I don't want to go to the second goal. I think I'll just talk
The
about the
first
first
goal
goal
was
enough.
one superb shot in the near post, right? We
Yes.
should have covered.
Where was he standing? After Harry Maguire, of course, with his so-called pace that he has to track back and to stop Thiago, right? Where was Altai Baindir?
I
Well,
see your point.
Yeah, you see, okay, so I mean, you close in lah. I was talking about this last week.
no, but I thought
Okay,
that
yes, I agree that Sanchez got the red card. He took the player down. Fair enough. But I also did explain that as keepers, you come out, you close in, you close their gap, you don't leave it wide open. But instead, what the heck does he do? He still stands there.
Simple,
So
man.
that's where
Simple,
I
man.
feel, yeah,
Simple. It's
that's where I feel,
communications. Matt, for the last 5 games, Matt, we have seen this with Ole Gunnar. We have seen this with Eric Ten Hag. You know the manager lose it when they keep on changing their defense, right?
correct.
And
I kind of defended
Mm.
that as well.
that is something I don't understand. You've been training for 4 games with Matthias Delik as your last match. It works, right? It
It
works. It looks
works.
solid. And suddenly you change to Harry Maguire. I really believe 99.9%, if we could get Ruben Amorim right now in the podcast, he will say, I was waiting for corners, free kicks, long throws for this guy to hit in. He will say
Mhm.
that. And I will
Yep.
never question him.
No,
As a Man United
but we
manager, you know how to play your own game. Why are you doing this strategy? It's so clear to be seen that he brought Harry Maguire start because he wants a aerial threat during the corners,
so
free kick.
the way I see it now, Sharif, you are talking that this is a tactical mishap, lack of preparation for winning the game, of doing the not necessarily the right things. Whereas Matthew, you are telling that they were individual errors in the team which also contributed and the flow of the game. But okay, when I come to
Where you
that
see?
part, when I I I don't blame the individual player's error. I don't blame the manager's effort and how he wants to play the team. I blame the manager existence itself in the team, in the club.
Well, if
So
you
for
play the
me,
manager existence itself in the team,
yes.
then
Yes.
he goes who hires him. Simple as that. And I've been
correct.
calling this out as well.
We know
I've
this
been
one.
calling this out since episode
I
3, right?
completely agree.
Mhm.
And
But the
now the
thing
pundits
is
are
that
also saying the same thing.
I feel that we have done this before. That the football professional leagues have done it before. We have, Andres Villas-Boas was young,
Mhm.
and then he came
Yep.
to Chelsea, and he did well to a certain extent, not really well, and then he moves on and everything. So this is the problem when you hire someone who's like really young in those kind of position. And my take just now, which I was saying, I want to say again that his close tactical teams are people who are younger than him actually, and these are players in their early 40s and 30s who are telling to senior superstar players, to what to do and what to play and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
MU is a big club, and a lot of big egos as well, player power and all these things. So he could do well in his previous club because they don't have superstars and everything by itself. They have big players, and then this big player will
You
go to
know.
Liverpool. They will go to Liverpool.
Yeah, good. I see your point, but I also remember one young manager also as well, who brought Bournemouth up, was also Eddie Howe as well, right?
Yeah.
So
But Eddie Howe in the fourth tier of English football. That is the difference. The fourth tier
Mhm.
of English football to bring them to the Premier League after n number of years, and he brought them down as well. He got them relegated again.
hopefully
So
don't bring
the
Newcastle up.
the
But
best of both worlds.
He got the best. I mean, but the thing is that the experience he gathered from it is now Newcastle is benefiting. I mean, I don't see life after Eddie Howe. Actually, I don't know what is the plan. I think zero is just like only Eddie Howe.
and also the resources as well, the structure as well, right?
Of
You have
course.
good resources. So for me again, I think I got to be a broken tape recorder as well, right? You know you're going to sign a young manager who's only know how to play a system, right, with his
Mm.
team, right? But you did not prepare the club itself to support not only financial, the sporting culture and so on. And I really like right now. I'm hearing Gary Neville, even Michael Owen as well, even including Alan Shearer as well, Kuhan. So I'm
Yeah,
happy
what
as
they
well.
saying?
Calling in your
Yeah,
out.
I mean, but we did that before because
Oh,
remember
oh,
Matthew. I remember this point
you
to
heard
Yep.
this
all
Yep.
the
here
Yep.
stupid
first.
fans out there, to all the stupid United fans out there, some stupid United fans who believe
The
Amarim should be
stupid
sacked,
United
and I
fan
was like the first
episode.
one. I think he should be sacked.
Yeah. So at
Well,
least for me, for all the gloomy part of first thing first, let me get it clear. It's no more question of should Ruben Amorim get sacked or not. It's so clear.
It's when.
It's the question of when exactly. It's question of when.
so now
This is
coming
the
to that.
same. This is the same. How do I say pattern? When Ole Gunnar came, and then it's always Matt. You always say one step forward,
One
two
step
steps
ahead.
back.
One
This is
yes.
only just one game to give the hopes up, and then the second games against Sunderland. I do not know want to say I'm pretty sure, but I do believe they will get a result because it's Old Trafford, and then they're going to go lose with Liverpool again, right? And it's going to get the thrashing again.
But
And then
Sunderland is
and then after
really
the
on
international
form,
break, I
huh?
don't
Sunderland is a team on form.
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
But
Sunderland
I'm
is
just
really
thinking
on
maybe
form.
it's an
Granit
Old Trafford.
Xhaka was good.
Yeah,
They
Mhm.
it's
won.
an
They
Old
won their
Trafford
last.
factor. I'm speaking not as an MU fan, but the pattern is always there. Ole Gunnar lost with Liverpool and something. He won something, and then he went to lose with Watford 4-0. The same also goes to Eric Ten Hag as well. He won something, and then he lost to West Ham, who's only just got a new manager as well.
Okay. My feeling is that I think Sunderland will draw or they will win against United. They just need to score the first goal. The first goal Sunderland score, United is done.
I agree. Anyone scores with United, yeah,
And
done.
I think against all odds, MU will pull a miracle against Liverpool. I think so. This miracle does not necessarily mean a win. This miracle can be a good
Draw.
draw. So
Be a draw.
this is what I think might happen because I feel that this is like a mindfuck season, man.
That's
See,
definitely in there. So
so it's like the Tamil movie analogy.
yeah.
So if you have watched this movie called Mangata, so there is this Tamil hero which is called Ajit Kumar. Throughout the movie, you're not sure is he a good guy or a bad guy. And the movie was well made, and this is exactly happening to MU now. You're not sure when they're going to do well, when they're going to flop.
Yeah, I
And
thought
how
I thought you're going to go whether Ruben Amorim is the one, whether Ruben Amorim is not. I will give you an answer right now.
yeah, it comes
He's
it
not the
comes
one.
with that. It comes with that as well. You don't know whether he's about to get sacked, he pull out these brilliant results. And then you think he's going to play well, and then he lose to the smaller teams or what. I mean, I don't like to say smaller teams, lah. I mean, other non-top six team or whatnot. So this is terrible. Either you get like a straight few defeats, like what happened to Graham Potter, get sacked immediately, or you go through this yo-yo run. This is, I mean, as a neutral and someone who used to load Manchester United, I think this is fun, but at the same time, it must be terrible for the fans because they don't have closure. This is like this is like the worst relationship you can be in, you know?
I love the word relationship, Kuhan.
Yeah.
And like when we started with exes, right? So this,
Oh my God.
and this is how I'm going to put it. This is how I'm going to put it with United fans, and I want United fans to comment this video as well, right?
Yeah,
The
this
managers
is the
like
worst kind of
having,
relationship.
it is like having a girlfriend, right? The Dutch manager who's crazy, and then Jose Mourinho who maybe toxic girlfriend. Ole Gunnar, the girlfriend who always
Hey,
hugs you.
toxic girlfriend, which everyone wanted at one point.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then you have the Ole girlfriend who always hug you, passionate with you,
The
motivate
friend
you.
which has always been there.
Yeah. But you know her, right? Ole Gunnar, her, she always gonna be the girlfriend. She's not a wife material. You get me what I'm trying to say?
It's terrible, man.
Yeah. And then Ragnick is a girlfriend that's too old for you. Who's supposed to be not your girlfriend, who's supposed to be your kakak angkat. I mean, I just giving shit analogy right now. Right? And then you have Eric Ten Hag, who's
Who's the young
perfect,
one?
who's perfect in the sense, who's tactical knowledge, who's new modern, but communication tak ada lah dalam relationship.
But I wouldn't say I wouldn't use the word girlfriend lah. I would say, you know, girlfriend or boyfriend, because you know why? There are a lot of female MU friends there. Yeah, no, because I think if you think about it, it would be terrible if you equate them as boyfriends.
And now
Okay,
what
go on,
happened?
go on.
When it comes to Ruben Amorim, after all the failures we've been through, right? After all the failures, right? We are hoping, let's get this right, lah. Let's hope this right. So I think right now MU fan, it's in a situation where they believe that Ruben Amorim is one, but second, hoping Ruben Amorim is the one. And I think it's really a grey line. I think right
No,
now
it
everyone's
is really, really confusing. As I said, it is a mindfuck season actually. It's a terrible
I understand
relationship.
what you're trying to say, but yeah,
It's a
I got to go with my girlfriend, boyfriend analogy. He, she,
it's a
they.
terrible relationship. It's a
Yeah,
terrible
it's like the
relationship.
relationship you got to feel work. Alamak, if this does not work, then memang aku masalah, bro. You understand?
Yeah.
You cannot say all the past it was the girl or boy problem. You understand? We have been
Nothing.
changing girlfriends for the past
And
5
boyfriends.
boyfriend, right. So if we balik kampung, bro, people will say you are the problem, bro. You understand? You understand?
Yeah.
So MU fans, and including myself, really wants Ruben
But
Amorim to.
do you so now let's assume in the world we live in that Ruben Amorim gets sacked. What is their shortlist?
Let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, I have two people that I feel that you see, what United needs next is a manager that can continue. It's not a manager that it's going to be the one. Okay, it's like a building block, right? You got to be someone in the middle to build something, and then there's someone to continue the building. And they got it right with Ole Gunnar, right? Ole Gunnar was supposed to be an interim manager, got a squad together, play free flow, but yeah, as I say, Glazers is not a football person. They do not know Ole. They couldn't understand. They bought the sentiment of the fan. They make it permanent, and that's where things goes wrong. Ole is a good manager to bring things okay back from the toxic people were saying.
Like how Chelsea does it lah with Gucci
exactly.
Dink and everything. Yeah.
You got to build that, and then you come to the right person who's going to do that. So my first top choice, bring back if you're going to bring back any managers, bring back Ralf Rangnick. Why I say bring back Ralf Rangnick is because right now the club does not know how to play football. Clearly, they don't have an identity. It's not a system. You see, you need to know the habit of playing. I think some coaches were telling. Sorry, Oliver Glasner was telling. Oliver Glasner said his formation was not actually 3-4-3. His favorite formation is 4-4-2. And why he did that to 3-4-3? Because the habit of how he wants to play, the resources of players they have, he said it fits to that system. So the philosophy comes first, then the system complements the philosophy itself. MU does not have it. Right now, what we always does that. Okay, now you the manager, Jose, you do your stuff. I'm going to sit back. You do your stuff. Ole, you do your stuff. I'm going to sit back. You want this? You want that? Or you want bring back Ronaldo? You want Jadon Sancho? Okay, I will give you back. Eric Ten Hag, you want copy and paste from your Ajax players? Okay, let's go. Let's do. And same goes to Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim saw the data. You know what? Our problem is actually we are creating chance, but we don't have the conversion. Let's buy the two most XG players last season, Matheus Cunha and also and we're gonna get goals. Nothing, 200 million, nothing. We only got how many goals? 2 goals, 3 goals? I do not
But
know.
that one is very, very FM football manager way of doing stuff. Just bring the highest XG players and doing it. I mean, as a fan now, you could see the XG means nothing, and we will see the XG means what it means even for Alexander Isak, and for Florian Wirtz. It's not about going back. I mean that you cannot buy a player which does something very well, and then it's not a jigsaw puzzle. And just this jigsaw puzzle fits well here. When come to another set, you put no. You have to change the other set to play according to this one piece.
100% agree, 100% agree. That's why I think I listened to someone saying that previous football, it's more on your eyes, it's more on your given talent to know the players. And then came the data to support, right? And when the data supports, you try to know players that you do not know. See, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, how MU got to know about Cristiano Ronaldo? Because they played with
Because
Sporting
they played
Lisbon.
him.
Yes.
They played
But
him.
Arsenal got to know Cristiano Ronaldo to data. That's why they claim like Alexander Isak, oh, he's supposed to be the Arsenal player. Cristiano Ronaldo is supposed to
No,
be.
but again, the problem which irks me a lot is data. You see, data can tell you only to a certain extent.
Correct.
Data
Yes.
cannot tell you what happens when you're coaching on a daily basis, what the player is and what the player can do, how the player moves off the ball. Data cannot capture off the ball positions. I mean, so this
Yep.
XG, X assist, these are good indicators. I don't say no at all, but at the same time, it's also problematic to be over reliant on it because now we are living in this.
I totally
We are
agree. 100%.
we
That's
we are
my point as
living
well.
we are living in a world where it's data driven. I agree. A lot of things it should be driven, but
Yeah.
when it comes to football, no, it
It
has to
cannot be
be
too
in the
much. It
optics
cannot be
as
too
well.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to find
True.
the sweet spot, right? And
Yep.
I believe that's what happened. Maybe Ruben Amorim once, I don't know, when he goes away, he will explain why he thought of bringing 2 number 10s. Instead, you have a Bruno, you have a what they call that, a Mason Mount. You could buy Baleba, and then you go, and then buy a world class keeper. Done. But I do not know
Yeah,
why he thought about that.
and the
I'm
thing
thinking
is that
because he saw the depth. Go ahead.
the problem is that like MU made a lot of major errors. They should have got a better keeper. I mean, these are very basic stuff actually. I mean,
Mm.
I feel that there are few in their transfer policies. They did so well in the beginning of the window with getting all those high XG players, and then they needed a defensive midfield. They could buy any defensive midfield out there. Actually, it doesn't need to be from the dude from Brighton.
So I justify Cohen. Maybe some people will call me the Lulu or something. That's why I say if the first choice is to bring any ex managers back, is rough, right, Nick? Because he calls back. He said back. We spent 120 million with what, a Palestri, with Ahmad Diallo, and the other two I can't remember. He named
Yep.
players. My point is Ragnick recognized this, right?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And he's recognizing not only like what we just discussed as well. Go ahead. It's not only 100% data, right? He has the data and he has the potential of seeing good gems. He was the
And
one who
also
identified.
the heart to play and all these things. All I
Correct. He
mean,
was
like
the one who named Luis Diaz. I think he gave a couple of names that who players are playing better, including
Yep.
Caicedo as well.
Yes.
When he was talking the ranting, right, man? I think where the club don't need glasses to see, and then I
Yeah.
share 20 lists of the names. All those 20 players are
Was all
superstars right now.
overlooked.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Look at them. Where are they?
yeah,
Where they play? Where are they playing and all that, right? So and yeah, there's a list
I'm
of them.
sure the
Caicedo was one
20
of them.
players, at least there is like a 40% who's average only, right?
No.
That's
Maybe
spot
next
on,
episode.
Hamza.
Maybe next episode I'll bring down the list,
Hey,
and then
yeah, show me the list. I'll be interested to see the list
yeah,
actually.
sure. So sorry to continue. That will be one. But if we don't have that, then if since the club is looking, getting players from the same
Mhm.
club or league, and this is where I'm naming Adoni Iraola or Oliver Glasner. Okay, I'll start with Oliver Glasner first, right? Why I do think Oliver Glasner is another step forward, before we move to another one, because again, if the Ineos structure, if Jason Wilcox, I don't know who's the sporting director right now, right? If Jason Wilcox or Omar Brother, right, decides let's continue with the 3-4-3. We have invested 200 million right now. That we do not want to confuse. So let's move who actually plays the 3-4-3 formations, right? Okay, then Oliver Glasner it is, right? But I also believe that let's not go searching directly right now managers or at the moment,
Get
straight
the
away
interim
jump.
manager.
Exactly. Made an interim first. If you're gonna
Yeah.
get Oliver Glasner for all the reason that what you said, Kuhan, right? I mean, he
Bring
wants
back
to run
Ole
the
Gunnar
contract.
Solskjaer. I'd be happy.
Not Ole Gunnar. I told Raf Rani, don't
What?
bring back Ole Gunnar. Because he comes back, he will form a circle. Let's hug everyone. That's all. He is going to do that.
No, but I mean, okay. In my opinion, the best MU manager since post Ferguson was him. I mean, except the last 10 or 15 games. I mean, in his interim position. In his interim position.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Interim position, yes. But actually, the best was Jose Mourinho, the second winning
Jose Mourinho.
percentage, followed
But
by
Yep.
Eric Ten Hag.
Jose Mourinho is accomplished at the time. I mean, he, of course, I agree, he's the best. But for interim purpose, you need. I mean, Chelsea did it with Lampard. Lampard is a terrible manager.
We
So
can discuss.
there you go.
Yeah,
So-
I just don't know whether this Oliver Glasner would want to be an interim manager or not, or maybe a very short
No,
contract.
why? He's a
Exactly,
legend of Crystal Palace.
exactly.
Correct.
Or this is where things get interesting because again, if a club does not have an identity, there's a philosophy called control chaos football. Okay, this is actually being created. I know it sounds like this is something made up, but trust me, structured chaos, right, or highly structured chaos football. It's actually been introduced by Jurgen Klopp and sooner been named as a gegenpressing, right? So what you're going to do?
Yeah.
What you're going to do is right now, you're not going to win the ball. You're not going to hold the ball long because you're an average team, right? You are
But
not
you damage the other side.
exactly. You do not allow the other team to play their game plan. Create chaos. Create chaos. So what Jurgen Klopp does is he press the ball, but not to win the ball. Go ahead, Matt. He press the ball so that this person who has the ball clear the ball, create
Yeah,
a
I mean, this is what Eddie Howe does as well. It's not
I don't know Eddie how want to come
intensity.
to it, right? Maybe bring
No,
in
no,
Dan
I
Ashford
mean,
or something.
the Gegen pressing thing is not pressing is not a Jurgen Klopp creation. It existed way before.
Right, but Jurgen
It's
Klopp,
just that
it became a chaotic structure, right? Because
yeah.
the previous pressing is to win the ball, right? So what Jurgen Klopp does is, right, and also
The
I don't think
purpose is
Iraola
different.
does in Bournemouth is to press and to allow the first ball, right, to create
Yeah.
a 50-50. And that 50-50 is for you not for you to win, but to win the second ball.
Yep. I understand.
That's where the players are
So
out of
you want
position.
a manager like that, lah, basically.
I feel it fits with the current United who does not have a philosophy or game plan, right? And that
Why? I don't see United.
Well,
I think United has this middle child syndrome. You want to play possession or you want to play like high press teams. So I don't know which one is it. For the longest time, I'm not sure which was it actually.
yeah. So that's why I say for either you go to right now you are playing 3-4-3. If you want to continue the 3-4-3, you go with Oliver Glasner, right? All right. Or if you want to start from scratch, you know what? I do not want anything. We'll think it over, which is good for interim because that's what also Ole does. Counter attacking, right? Just be solid. We have speed players, counter attack. You guys know what you do. Don't hold the ball long. Just pop. It was beautiful, right? But it was not sustainable. And I'm saying also as well the same. I'm not saying that United is going to win the league after 3 years by playing the same football. But that's what works with Bournemouth at the moment, right? They are
Be
getting results.
competitive, lah. That's it.
Exactly. Be competitive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be competitive. I mean,
Be competitive.
a lot of my friends ask about Newcastle. Newcastle is a competitive team. That's why I believe in the team that they could do stuff actually. I mean, this belief is just now temporary. It might go down crashing when things happens. But the point that during this period, the team has created an ecosystem where they make the fans believe that we on our given day Newcastle will beat anyone because they are competitive. That's the key word. MU is not competitive. MU needs high. Like if they score the first goal and the whole Old Trafford erupts, they can play well. When they play against big team, because the player will think, oh, they're playing
Like
against a big
Switch
team, they
FC.
play well. Sorry?
Light Switch FC.
I think
You can
I
switch on,
think
switch off.
I would rather say that it's called Limelight FC lah. Yeah. I mean, for the longest time, I see MU playing well in big games. I mean, even before Ruben Amorim, the comeback against PSG quite not so long ago, the
It's
win
going
against
good.
City not
It's
so
going
long
good.
ago.
Yeah, it's going good because why? If you're a average team and when you play a big team, you don't have the
Yes, you
pressure.
play for the lights. Yeah, you're
Yep,
right.
yep.
Correct, exactly. And this is where the only time where you play with, I'm going to play with a proper world class players and you win with a world champion. You
Yes.
understand? And it got all
But
the
when I watch the games, I'm talking about the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer season where Pogba
uh,
scores the 2 comeback goals. That thing at that time, I think MU was still very people. It's Manchester United big name coming. Now people treat India if they're seeing MU, okay, we can prepare to defeat this team. We don't have to think too much. Just do X Y
exactly.
Z. Yeah,
So
it's
just to close the Iroyola stuff, right? When Jurgen Klopp came in for Liverpool, and I think the first season he got till 8 and then fourth. Those 2 seasons, he did not start with the Gegen pressing. He started with this structured,
mm,
chaotic press. So it's on.
Ah,
He does not have a game plan because he does not have the profile, right?
mm.
And what he does is to just to make sure that the other team does not play. The other team comes with the same level as us, and it works. I know some
But
people
I
say,
think
Sharif, are you a Liverpool fan because you speak many
you were saying,
but
Quinn?
but I'm giving
we
Liverpool
all
because they went through almost a similar pattern like what we are going through right now, right? They went through with managers. They really, you don't feel that much more worse.
Mm-hmm.
not football brutality lah. There's the gang fights and all these things are a lot of football related violence. So Liverpool was
Hooligans.
not allowed to go for European footballs as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why they said Liverpool, the 5 or 6 titles they won in Champions League should be more because they were banned. Liverpool slump happened when I think Kenny Dalglish left and was replaced. And that is when that whole cycle happened. But Liverpool did not slump this slow. Not at
Yes.
all.
Yes.
I think Gerard Houllier was a former
Yeah,
French
Hooligans
manager.
was okay.
They were going to finals and then they never won the league, but they did overall well actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
you see, and it's like when for example Liverpool could buy Fernando Torres the from Atletico Madrid, who was like everyone wants him. Liverpool could buy. Now my question, my not my question. I'm not questioning you guys because we're running
Ah,
short of time. But
yep.
I always wonder, as time goes on, who wants to come and play for MU?
If you ask
So
me,
yeah, this is the
I know you will sound like a fanatic, but
Mm. It's
after
fine. We're
years
all
goes
fans.
by, I don't see a issue where people coming to United.
It's a club that still can attract players.
But
Correct.
for how long? All the players we are seeing in this the lesser, I mean the non-Sky 6 team, they are all big players before they came actually. They came
Mm-hmm.
to what we would call lesser clubs, although I don't like the term. But so the thing is that, but this guy, they'll be afraid to go to MU. So I don't know. We have to see how it works actually. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So cool. All right, we have reached the end of the show. Lots of talking points, lots of rantings and
Wow,
debates. I mean, we
A
could
lot of
have gone
editing.
more lah. Yeah, and that's a lot of work
a
for
lot
me
of
after this.
shots.
So for those who have tuned in, thank you very much. Of course, we hope you have enjoyed this episode. And for those who are new, as usual, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notifications as well. So this is once again Matt, your host, with Kuhan and Sharif alongside me, signing out. Peace out. Cheers.
May MU glory glory.